Grand Rising Divine Legend. I am designing this class to be a very gentle mat class. I taught a deep stretch this morning, and I'm going to be teaching tonight at a new location that I'm just going to be very gentle tonight, kind of preparing the body for relaxation and sleep because it's a later evening class. And so I'm going to take this morning's class that already happened and tonight's class that kind of have somewhat designed in my mind already, and I'm going to combine them for this practice right now. And you might notice that my shirt says something other than what we're actually up to right now, which we're up to yoga. But if you happen to notice, I'm wearing a barmaid shirt. It's because I come from bar world where I was a longtime bar instructor at the local clubs here. I also still teach it and have a local pop-up coming up in June that I'm really excited. We just secured the date to do a pop-up bar class. It's one of my favorite things to teach. And so I was celebrating and promoting it earlier today because it's on the calendar. But so bringing us back right here, that we are in yoga, and yoga helps me center. And what I wanted to share with you today before we get into the practice is some years ago, I learned in a what we called journey group. It was a regular weekly meeting where me and some other people would gather to practice being with each other, being glad to be together. And we were learning brain science. And one of the things I picked up from that part of my journey was this idea that we truly have been designed to live a life that goes from joy to rest, joy to rest, joy to rest. That is the most healthy way for your nervous system to experience this life. And I'm there, but it's been a journey to get to this place of joy to rest, to joy to rest. And so I'm coming in after a joyful experience to come back and bring the nervous system down again into the parasympathetic system to rest the body, to prepare to go back into the joyful experience, which for me personally will be picking the kids up from school and starting our afternoon evening time. So this is my finding my rhythm of joy to rest, joy to rest. And I'm so grateful and thankful to share it with you that we're bringing rest back into the body after a joyful experience. And that I want to, because I know I'm here to show what's possible, suggest that you too might find that rhythm in your life. With that, let's lay back on the back in that supported supine position where we have the feet wide and the knees knocked together. I love starting us here because it is such a supported posture. And you can begin to wiggle your low back into the mat. Start to work out some kinks, maybe some little points of aggravation. And then spread your wings, spread your shoulder blades wide, get that collarbone nice and wide. I'm picking my hair up, removing it from my neck. So I have a long neck and spine. The chin is slightly tucked, right? Just settling into the mat. Now I'm not going to stay here very long. We're just going to take our 3 cleansing breaths from this posture. And then I'm going to move your legs. Your hands can be palm down at your sides to start. Make sure your shoulders are soft away and down toward the mat, not lifted at all, right? I noticed I was lifting my shoulders, and I talk to myself a lot when I cue. A lot of times when I'm cueing, I'm not just telling you, I'm telling myself as well. I'm reminding my body to pay attention to these things. So let's take these 3 cleansing breaths to start our practice. Inhaling through the nose and awing audibly out the mouth. Again. And last time. Right away with our next inhale, begin to widen your knees, bring your feet together into that cobbler position, but on your back. Now you can use your hands underneath your thighs. If your hips are tight and you want some support here, and your feet can be far away from your glutes, they can be way down toward the bottom of your mat. They can be pulled closer to you. So find what feels right for your hips. Find the support from your hands that you need. Allow the hips to begin to open up. And we're going to move from this posture. So I want you to feel like you can plant your feet. And I'll show you what we're going to do. We're going to be lifting our hips from the mat. So I want you to position your feet where you can lift your hips. And you can use your hands to help support this movement. And it doesn't have to be a big lift off of the floor. So keep a belt tight around your waist. Keep your shoulders soft away from your ears. Your hands are either pressed into the mat or supporting your thighs from underneath. And on our next inhale, we will begin to lift the hips. And exhale back down. Again, inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. 3 more times. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Listen, you're going to keep your right foot right where it is and bend your left knee up, flatten that foot onto the earth. Maybe removing the hand if you can handle that knee just knocking out. Take your right hand across your chest underneath your left where the bra strap might meet. Left hand up over the chest across the right to hug behind the bicep or shoulder. And breathe into this. We're allowing that right hip to begin to open up. We're getting down into the psoas muscle right away to show that compassion, that tenderness as we hug the upper body. Keep breathing through the nose, out the nose, long, smooth inhales and exhales. We're signifying to the body we are safe. We are safe to be here in our practice. We are safe to be here on our mat. We are safe to feel our feelings. We are safe to move our energy. We are safe to be me. Last breath here. You'll uncurl the arms, bring them down by your side so you can support lifting the right knee up, letting that left knee now fall back down toward the earth. Right foot flat on the ground, left foot facing the right. Left arm comes up and over the chest, underneath the right arm, hugging along the bra strap. Right arm comes up across the chest, hugging behind the left bicep or shoulder, and we breathe. Resting. Relaxing our hips, relaxing our psoas, giving it a break. It supports the upper body and lower extremities. It pulls, supports them being together. It is our biggest muscle. And the more love and tenderness and compassion that we can show this area, I truly believe the more peace, compassion, and tenderness we actually will be able to give to others in this world. Taking a last breath here. Now listen, we're going to come onto this left side and get a quad stretch. So as you uncurl your arms, your left arm's going to reach overhead. You're going to come all the way onto that left side so that your head rests on your bicep, and then reach for that right foot. Grab the top of the foot so you can draw the heel all the way into the glute and feel that good quad stretch. Breathe into that. Letting that go, we're going to come onto the back and we're going to draw that right knee into our chest. We're going to let the left leg go long on the mat. Flex the foot so that the leg stays engaged and you're not dumping your pelvic floor open. Draw that right knee closer to your chest. Roll your right ankle out both directions. Lift it up to the sky. Keep moving the foot, pointing, flexing, rolling the ankle out. Keep breathing, connecting with that long, smooth inhale and exhale. Bending in the knee, hooking on the outside of the foot, the inside arch of the big toe you choose for your one-legged happy baby. Left hand can reach out palm up to open up that shoulder. If you need more support to secure your left hip down, you might place the hand on top of the hip to support that hip staying connected to the earth. You can stay right here or begin to move this right heel in toward the glute and lengthening. And just moving that with the breath at your pace. Final exhale. Bring your knees into your chest. Hug behind the knee. Stay off the knee joint. Rocking from side to side. Using your body weight to get a little massage here on the low back. Breaking up myofascia to get a little deeper in our stretches. Coming all the way to the side. Your head is turning with this rock. So you're getting some tension released from your neck and shoulder area. And then when you're ready, next pass for me, I'm going to land on that right side. I'm going to lift my right arm up overhead to have a pillow for the head. And then I'm going to reach for that left top foot to draw the heel into the glute for that quad stretch on this side, and breathe into that. Last breath here. Tighten your belt as you come to the back to protect your low back. Your left knee comes into your chest, your right leg goes long, flex the foot to protect that hip joint. Roll your ankle out both directions. Lift the foot up toward the sky, keep pointing, flexing, rolling, feeling that nice stretch down the back of the leg into the Achilles heel, ankle area. Keep connecting with your breath. One-legged happy baby, holding your foot where it feels right for you, pressing that knee towards your armpit. Breathe into that. Again, right hand can reach out, palm up, or secure your right hip down. You can stay right here or begin to move that heel in towards your glute, lengthening the leg. Maybe not locking the knee out, maybe even keeping a pretty decent bend in it, getting a little deeper into that each pass, possibly. Good, you'll bring your knees into your chest again. Cross the ankles. We're gonna rock the length of the spine a few times if it feels good for you. Otherwise, just land in your seated position and wait for me. I'm rocking the length all the way up to the shoulders. It feels so good to use my own body weight to massage the whole length of the spine. I'm doing one more. And then landing in that seated position. Right away, find your cobbler pose again. And if you've got blocks nearby, that if you're very tight in your hips, you could set your blocks down there. You could also use your arms to support yourself. Keep tall in your spine, nice and long to that neck and spine. While we're here, try not to grab your feet. Hold on to the ankles. You can press those knees open with your elbows if that's available to you. And then you're going to start to fold forward, but keep a flat back. And if your hips start to lift behind you, you've gone too far. You need to pull back. So stay flat. You're not rounding in your back at all. And I'll give you that side view so that you can see how I'm staying flat in the back. I'm not rounding at all. And I'm really just finding my edge. You find your edge. And when you get there, gaze toward the ground. Keep a little cutie orange between your chin and your chest. You're not tucking your chin in at all. And we're going to stretch our neck here. So just turning the gaze over one shoulder. And then the other. Go slow and use your breath here. Come through center. You'll round down. You can let the elbows come in toward the torso more. I'm grabbing my feet here, pressing the toes together, just adding a little pressure to the ball and the toes of the feet as I round down, tucking the chin, finding that C curve in the spine, feeling that stretch down the back, upper part of the back and the neck. One more breath here. Inhale, lift your torso up. Let me turn back to face you because you're going to lengthen your left leg. Keep your right foot tucked into that left thigh. You can pull it in a little closer just to secure yourself there. Stay connected through the sit bones to your mat, tall through your spine. Inhale your arms overhead. And then you're folding down over this leg. Keep your chin lifted, hearts pointing forward. Hands drop wherever they do. We're getting a good stretch down the back of this leg. Toes are flexed, pulling toward the face, keeping that pelvic floor neutral. One more breath here. We're going to revolve open, but I'm going to have you open this leg, move it a little bit further if it's available to you, and then you can scoot your right toes. That's going to give you more availability in this revolvement if that's available to you. This left arm comes inside the leg. You can grab hold of the ankle. You could grab hold of the big toes. You could grab hold of your foot. That's a little trickier that way, but to secure yourself here. And then you're going to twist open from your waist before you lift this arm. You start the action here. You start revolving open. You're trying to stack your shoulders on top of each other, but get the twist happening down here in the waist first with that heart opening up. Then the arm can come straight up to the sky. And for a lot of us, that's enough right there. My gaze can stay down at the mat to protect the neck, give it a little less stretch there. If it's okay to look forward or up, you can definitely do that. But to take some pressure off that neck, gazing down is always the key. And then I'm going to take this stretch a little deeper by taking this arm slowly toward my ear. And I'm going slow because I don't want to tear anything. I'm keeping the length in the arm and I'm turning my palm up toward the sky to open, keep the heart opening, the shoulder opening, keep twisting from the waist. One more breath here. Inhale up and twist away toward that right side on your exhale. Taking one more breath here. Now we're going to move through a combination of movements. We're going to fold down over this leg, hands where they do, drop wherever they are. Keep that foot flexed. Feel that nice stretch down the back of the leg. Keep your chin lifted, not tucking into your chest. And then when we lift up, we'll secure this right hand behind our right hips long. You'll look another angle here. I'm going to reach my left arm up. I can stay right there. Some of us will push through the feet and lift the hips for that modified wild thing. And we're going to flow this 3 rounds, taking an inhale on our fold, coming up, exhaling into that modified wild thing. 2 more rounds like that, using your breath. Inhaling and exhaling. Last one. You'll land in your fold. Come on down to the fold. Breathe. One more. Inhale up and twist away on the exhale. We're going to take this twist a little deeper. Lift this right leg up, cross it over the left leg. I'm going more straight in that leg again. Cross it over that left leg, sit tall. Hug that knee in. You can anchor that right arm behind you and gaze over that right shoulder. Keep those left toes flexing in. Your inhale lengthens the spine. Your exhale twists from the waist. 2 more breaths here. We're going to counter twist out of this. Inhaling over to this other side. Placing the arms down, folding down on your exhale. Other side. So we're going to lengthen this right leg out and draw that right foot in or left foot in. And we're going to fold first. So sit bones connected to the mat, nice and long through the neck and spine, shoulders soft away from the ears. Inhale your arms overhead. Exhale, fold down. Keep the chin lifting, heart pointing out. This is a stretch for the back of the leg. 2 more breaths. Inhale up, and we'll twist to this left side. Come back into our fold. And then we're gonna revolve open. So I'm just gonna switch positions here so you have a better angle of what I'm doing. So I'm gonna open this leg up a little more and scoot this right. I know it, yeah. And then we're revolving open. So that right arm inside the leg, and it holds the ankle, the toes, the foot, if that is helpful. It's just a suggestion and an option. And then we start that twist from the waist. We are opening up, starting down here, revolving open, attempting to stack the shoulders. I have less mobility on this side. It just is what it is. And I reach toward the sky, my fingers are spread, the whole arm is engaged. And then if I want more, I can turn that palm up to keep the shoulder opening. And I'm slowly reaching that long arm toward my ear, increasing that side body stretch, going slow so I'm not tearing anything at all. Breathing into this very deep side body stretch. One more breath. And I know we took that twist out of the fold a little early, but we're going to do it again. So inhale up and twist away to this left side. And then we're going to find that movement, that flowy movement. So coming a little bit closer again to fold down this leg. Lift up, secure that left arm behind your left hip. Some of you, this is enough, just reaching that right arm up. You feel the stretch down through the hip. You don't need more. Some of you are going to push through your legs to lift your hips and push them out even further to get into the back bend that's available here. 3 rounds with the breath. Inhale, fold. Exhale, reach. Fold. Exhale, reach. Last one, taking your time, just enjoying the movement. Landing in the fold to end this series. And then inhaling up, twisting to that left side on the exhale. Getting a little deeper into this twist. Lift this left leg up, cross it over that right leg, keep those right toes pointed, long through that spine. Notice how I lengthen. I came in like this and I lengthen that spine up. And then I hug that knee in, I secure that left arm behind me, nice and long behind the hip, maybe gazing back if that's available in the neck. If not, forward, less intense. 2 more breaths here. Counter twist the other way to come out of this. Placing the hands down outside that right hip and just bowing over. And release. We're going to come into tabletop, do a little bit of work on the hands and knees before we come back onto the back. One last time and take final stretches. So from your tabletop, fingers spread nice and wide, finding the tips of those fingers, right? And the heel of the hand, you have a little bit of a lift there. In the center is a really great way to save the wrists. Knees are under hips. We're going to wag the tail to start here, looking over one shoulder, pressing the hips the opposite direction, just releasing tension out of the low back. Keep your belt tight around your waist. Don't let your abs just go. And then we're gonna take a shoulder stretch while we're here. So come through neutral spine. We'll inhale the left arm up. We'll thread it through under that right arm, come down on that left shoulder, head all the way to the mat. Right hand can stay where it is. Another layer would be to reach it up to your top edge. Another layer, if it's in your practice, is to lift, turn the palm away and half bind behind you, maybe even reaching to that opposite thigh. I'm going to add one more layer. If you are practiced and this sounds familiar and you want to try it, but know also you're in your home. And if you fall out of this, you come back into it on your own, knowing that it's a practice. We're not going for perfection. So I'm going to extend my right leg out, but before I do that, listen, I'm going to shift the weight into the left side of the body, onto the head, onto that shoulder, onto that left knee. And then take that right leg out, but set it down right away, pointing the toes forward. Toes are forward, that long edge on the outside is parallel to your left knee, essentially, so that you get into the inner thigh on that right side. Take one more breath here. To come out of this, take the right hand back under the shoulder, then press that knee back in under your right hip. Press into the mat, lift that left arm up into the sky, tuck the thumb in, cross the fingers over it, roll your wrists out. Both directions. So good. Secure that hand under your shoulder, spread those fingers, find the heel of the hand. Other side, we inhale that right arm up. Exhale, thread it through, onto the head, onto the shoulder. Same options on this side. Layer one extends that left hand up to the soft edge, short edge, so that you're opening the left shoulder as well as the right. Other layer is to half bind, if that's in your practice. And then that last layer, so shifting the weight to the right side of the body, belt tight so that you can slide that left leg out, pointing the toes forward. Find your heel pushing away from you. That's going to get deeper into your inner thigh, even a little into the IT band. Last breath here. Inhale the left hand under the left shoulder. Exhale that left knee under the left hip. Inhale, right arm back up into the sky. Tuck the thumb, fingers over the thumb, roll the wrist out, both directions. And then set it down. So good. We'll cat-cow some breaths here. I like to tuck my toes on the cow and then push the tops of the feet into the mat, round the belly, scooping in, tucking the chin, pushing the floor away on the exhale. And just flowing this with the breath. A few rounds. Let's stretch our feet out while we're here. So toes tuck, and I'm sitting back onto my heels. And I'm pulling the last toes out and knowing my pinky toe just doesn't sit on the floor. It's too short. But that fourth toe has to get pulled out. And this is stretching the feet out. And if I'm here too long for you, you can pop your hips up off the heels to take that intensity off. But I'm going to be back here for a little bit because I'm stretching the feet out real nice. Shoulders are soft away from the ears. And the wrists, I'm just going to shake them out. Sometimes I do a really big, intense wrist stretch here, but today I'm going to shake them out. And I'm going to tuck the thumbs and I'm going to roll one direction. And then I'm going to roll the other. And I'm going to take a final breath here. And then I'm going to come out of it, come into tabletop and pat the tops of your feet out. And that should have felt really nice to stretch your feet. For this next move, we're going to stretch the hips pretty intensely. So I'm going to start with the right hip. And what you're going to do is bring your left hip to the center of your mat. You're going to take your right leg and cross it over your left. And then you're going to spread your feet apart to the edges of your mat. And listen, when you come back, your knees are going to come apart, and that is where you're going to land. So just accept the fact your knees will come apart. And you're going to want to find sit bones beneath you. And if you cannot get there, use props. And if props are out of the question and you're too tight and you're saying, there's no way I'm getting in that posture, what else could I do? Take this left leg, lengthen it out. We're right where we were before, and pull that right foot back a little more. And you're in the same idea of a hip opener where we're going to be with both legs underneath us. So that's that third option if you cannot use props and you cannot get your sit bones connected to this mat. You want the feet pulled out from underneath you. If you're really tight, right? That foot wants to stay there. And if you just can't get it out, lengthen the leg all the way out. But if you can stay flat on the mat with your sit bones, you're going to open your hips deeply just by breathing into this. So with a long neck and spine, I'm going to eagle the arms to get a good stretch on the backs of the shoulders as well. And that's going to look a little different. Excuse me, taking a breath and just resetting my own self. It's not going to look a little different. What I meant to say is you want to cross the opposite arm, that left arm on top, because we've got our right on top in the leg. So spread the arms wide. Your left arm is coming on top and your hands are either finding your shoulders or your palms together. Either way, take the elbows and lift them up to your chin height. Deeply stretching the backs of the shoulders, deeply stretching the hips. Breathe into this. Last breath. We're going to come back into tabletop. So release the arms. You're going to bring yourself forward, back into your tabletop, and uncross the legs and wag your tail. Wag your tail, release through that hip, through that side seat. It's a big, deep stretch for the hips there. And we got the other side. So we're going to set it up the same way, bringing the right knee to the center, crossing the left over the right, pulling the feet apart, knowing when we sit back, the knees come open. That's where we are. Get that foot all the way out from underneath, or lengthen that leg all the way out. Pull this foot back maybe a little more to get deep into that hip. Nice and tall through the spine. Eagle on this side, arms wide, right over left, shoulders or palms, lift the elbows up to chin height so you get that good stretch through the shoulders, through the neck. Breathe. Last breath. Release the arms, come forward into that tabletop. Uncross the legs, tabletop, we wag the tail. And then I'm gonna not take us into a big, long Shavasana. If you want that, you ought to take it on your own. To bring us out of this practice today, I'm gonna come onto my heels. If that doesn't feel good to you, find a seated position with your legs crossed in front of you. Shoulders soft away from the ears, chin slightly tucked, belt tight around the waist. I'm gonna inhale my arms overhead. Bring palms together. Exhale through heart center. I'm going to do that 2 more times. Inhaling, reaching overhead. Last time. Eyes heavy or closed. One hand on heart, one hand on belly. Breathing. Checking in, where is my rest point? Where is my peace point? How is my body feeling after my joyful experience? Do I feel the rest? Do I feel the relaxation? Do I feel I'm in my parasympathetic system? These are all questions I'm checking in with. Do I feel the sense of calm in my belly? Last breath. Fluttering the eyes open, we'll take our final breath together. So inhaling those arms overhead, gathering this infinite peace that is always available to us, receiving it deeper within our hearts to share with our families, our friends, our neighbors, even those that trigger. The light that is infinite is expressing through me as me, recognizes the light that is the infinite is running through you as you, honors, cherishes, and so delighted that you join me in my practice. Namaste. May you be blessed with that life rhythm of joy to rest, joy to rest. Bless you. Mwah.